Hey guys and gals, Never here from Drakewing Gaming and Sylvie on Twitter, the Gaming Dragon. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Tennis Ace, June's Path. So let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Alrighty. I take a seat by the katatsu. If it were up to me, I'd go to the hospital while I eat, but Mom always insists I sit down to eat with them. Huh, I guess that's all of us. We've all let ourselves go a little bit over the years.
Not me. I've always been in shape.
Ball shape, you mean?
Hey!
Sweetie, don't make fun of your father, although it's true.
I don't get you two's obsession with always looking nice. I've always been a little bit on the chubbier side, and I'm happy like this.
It's not like I'm unhappy, I just miss being able to play soccer.
Kid, it's not your shape that keeps you from playing soccer.
Ow! Mom reaches around the table, grabbing Dad by the ear and twisting it. Be nice to your son.
Ow, 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 I got it. I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I didn't stop playing soccer because I got into shape. I got into shape because I stopped playing soccer. We can always find something else you could do to stay active, but I'm sure your doctor could recommend some kind of class that we might sign you up for. No, thanks. I already have my hands full as it is. I don't think I'd have time for that. Besides, my medical bills are already super high. We don't need to add something else on top of it. Are you sure? It wouldn't be a problem. Yeah, you say that, but I'm sure. Keeping on top of my studies and focusing on the piano is already pretty difficult. This school is much stricter than my previous one, too. Mom and Dad share a look with each other, raising a couple eyebrows.
We could try putting you in a cram school.
Ah, stop! No more extracurriculars! I just said I have enough on my plate. Seriously, stop trying to spend your money. There, I finished eating. May I be excused now? Are you just going to eat and run? Pretty much. I'm already late. I already have my phone and my wallet in my pocket, so all I need to do is grab my keys from the front door. Bye-bye. I'll see you guys later. Have a good day.
See you, kid. Make sure to text us if anything happens.
And try not to stress Michimaya-san out. I will, and I won't. Bye! I take a deep breath as soon as I close the door behind me. It's getting harder and harder to keep up this routine every day, but I know I can't let them start worrying about me again or it'll never stop, especially now. Just put on a happy face, take deep breaths. I start the short walk to the nearest taxi stand, getting on a car to the hospital. As soon as I walk past the doors, I feel a little bit of a chill. Not just because of the air conditioning, which I'll admit is really, really nice, especially with these clothes I'm wearing, but because I hate this place. Having to come here every day this past week when I already spend way too more time than I'd like in here is starting to get to me. Yuichi-san, can't you just go home already? I really don't like having to come here. Looking around the waiting room, I see three familiar faces sitting together at a far corner of the room. For the past week, I've tensed up a little every time I saw Shuichi-san, but things have been okay for the most part. Awkward, but okay. Morning! Good morning, June-san. One random thing I've noticed this past week is that Keisuke-san seems to have switched to calling me June-san on a permanent basis. Before he would sometimes let it slip, but called me by my last name most of the time. It's kind of nice. Morning! How you doing? I'm okay. Didn't get much sleep. Yikes, sleepless nights are the worst.
Ooh, excuse me.
Right?
So long as you're feeling okay, that should be good enough, right?
Yeah, totally. I don't know where to go with this. So, any news on Yuichi-san? Is his family in his room by any chance? Not really. They actually haven't arrived yet. Yuichi-san is still refusing any visitors. Really? I was hoping...
It can't be easy for him, give him some time.
It's not like we're asking for much. We just want to talk to him and see how he is.
He can't even walk right now. How do you think he is?
Right, that's a good point. I'm surprised his family isn't here yet. Hasn't Misaki-san been spending the night every day?
She has, but Aki-kun has always been insisting she go home since she's so exhausted. It's not surprising that she finally caved.
It's a good thing, too. She seemed like she's been running a little ragged for the past couple days. Given the situation, can you blame her? It's not like I said it was without reason. Saya-san gives him a Saya-san gentle pat on the back. I wonder if they'll even come today at all. Maybe they just gave up on being allowed in.
Hardly. Misaki-san would probably be clinging to his bed frame even now if she could.
I doubt Aki-kun is too happy about it either. He's probably just making sure his mom actually gets some sleep before she's allowed to come back. Does anyone else find it a bit strange that he's the one pretty much playing parent here? I don't think this is the time to be mentioning that, but I do think the same.
Misaki-san can be pretty, intense when it's something she cares about.
I feel a cold shiver running all the way down my spine just hearing that. Is that true? How intense are we talking about? Quite a bit. I'm not sure how to answer you here.
Why do you ask?
I haven't told her yet about the accident. I told Aki-kun, but he assured me he wouldn't tell her until I was ready to... What? You didn't tell her? It goes without saying, but Saya-san told the guys about the details of the accident I'd left out. She thought it would be better for Shuichi-san to be told as far away from me as possible, just so there would be no risk of another explosion. But from what she told me, he was really sorry. It was really, really sorry when he heard it happen because I was trying to rush home from being sick. Especially because since he took a peek at my records when I first transferred in, he let me know long ago that he knows about my condition. Makes me feel a tiny little bit guilty to have him know and feel bad about that when no one else does. Which means Misaki-san is the only person to not know yet. It never looked like a good time. And you thought waiting until she was properly rested so she could strangle you better would be a good time? Smart.
Don't say that. You don't know Misaki-san well. She's not that kind of person.
I don't know. I wouldn't put it past an angry mother to lash out over her son being hurt.
Again, she is not that kind of person. Water time. Alrighty, y'all, and we are back. Let's jump back into it, shall we?
Thank you for the support, Shuichi-san.
Yeah, of course.
This does make me wonder. Should we form a perimeter around Kobayashi before he tells her or anything?
I'm not going to repeat myself for the third time. She is not that kind of person.
You just repeated yourself there.
Dude, whose side are you on?
No one's, I swear. It feels weird. We've been slowly going back to normal, having more lighthearted conversations and joking around again. I miss the laughter and the fun atmosphere, but part of me still feels guilty. How could we be laughing and playing around like this when Yuichi-san is still in the state? But at the same time, I know this is something we need. If there's one thing I've learned from my time in therapy is that people need distractions to keep them from going through tough times. Keep them going through tough times. So it's not like I don't understand, but I still feel guilty. In fact, I can pretty much tell that everyone else thinks the same, even though they won't say it. They try their hardest, but their smiles aren't anywhere near as wide as normal. They still frown a bit, even when smiling. Their laughter is just a tiny bit forced. Not to flatter myself or anything, but I got really good at reading people from years observing them to try my best at fitting in and staying unnoticed. I just don't know if it's something I should bring up at all. It's okay, Junkun. We'll protect you.
Speak for yourself. If anything happens, I'm getting out of the way as soon as possible.
Why? Shuichi-kun!
Don't look at me like that. I'm not braving the wrath of an enraged mother for anything or anyone.
Gee, thanks.
You're very welcome.
That's so mean.
I call it survival of the fittest.
What? Saya-san reaches across her seat, poking me in the belly a couple of times before I can swat her hand away. Hey, no touching! I guess you have a point.
I didn't mean that kind of fit.
Not appreciated. Aw, I was just trying to lighten up the mood. Wow, what are you two, children?
Come on, Urushihara, you don't have to be so glum the whole time.
I am not glum.
Some people might not agree.
Who says I care what they think?
Uh-huh. The odds of me believing you on that are 0.
Piss off. Shuichi-san chuckles, covering his mouth with his hand. Both him and Saya seem to be trying their best to improve the mood in the group. Now, I already expected that from Saya-san, but I really didn't think Shuichi-san would join in on it. In fact, I thought he would be the one most down right now. But maybe that's exactly why he's trying to be positive. Sometimes I wish I were a mind reader. Although, it would probably only take me about 2 seconds to start abusing it. So many interesting memories to read. Oh, no, don't go there! Is everything alright, Junkun? Huh? Yeah, why do you ask? You were spacing out of nowhere. Doesn't he always do that? True, but I don't know. I guess I'm just a bit on edge right now. I don't want him getting lost in bad thoughts. I promise I wasn't having bad thoughts. In a sense. Okay, so as long as you don't start being depressed on this again... yeah, I guess hoping Saya-san would forget how I was last week was asking... was asking for too much. Ugh. That was the first time I let the mask crack that much in front of her. Of course she'd be worried. I promise I'm all right. I was just wondering about something else. Oh, what was it? Games! That's a safe one. I'll run with that. Games? Like now? Kind of a weird time to be thinking of games, don't you think? Really? I just thought that since we're waiting around until someone shows up that we can talk to, it It'd be nice to have some games to pass the time. Oh, like the new RPG that released 2 weeks ago, Trailblazing Skies. That one looks really cool. Hey, I've heard of that one. I was thinking of getting it, but my backlog is already way too big as is. Must be nice having so many gaming systems. I only have my old Ruby 1, plus the Breakcast Yuichi-san lent me, but I don't really have any games for that other than the 2 games he gave me with it. I mean, Sorikin had lent me his Ruby Slim Portable when I was in the hospital, but I gave that one back already. You seem to get by on borrowing stuff often. I could lend you some of my games for the Raycast if you'd like. I have quite a few, and most of them are RPGs that I have no time to get to yet, so feel free. The Raycast is the ultimate console for RPGs after all.
Dear God, please tell me we're not getting trapped in another 2-hour conversation about RPGs with you two. They happen at least 3 times a week as is. My brain can't take any more of it.
And now who's the one being glum?
I will hit you.
Good. I managed to distract them away from that previous subject. The tried and tested strategies never fail. Come on, Shuichi-san. We both like video games. What's so wrong with it?
My brain's all over the walls if you keep this up. That is what?
Whoa, that got dark way too fast.
Shuichi-san makes a mock gesture as if he put a gun to his own head and fired it.
Could you please not joke about that? We're in a hospital, you know. I can't even believe to describe how inappropriate it is.
Oh, you're right. My bad.
You got scolded. For God's sake, when did I become the den mother to 3 annoying children? 3? Am I an annoying child, too? Oh, well, I didn't mean, I guess I guess I made him sweat a little by accident with my question. That's actually pretty funny. I really have the chance to poke fun back at them, especially without it being obvious. I think I'll run with it. Alright, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and that notification bell. I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. And the Otter Tail video, the Not Safe for Work Otter Tail video is almost done, y'all. Alright? Love you all. See y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.